All right. So we are live from Canopy and the Roots up in LITTLEEAGLE, Georgia. Thank you all for joining us live stream. Tonight we have, well, some might say a legendary Native American wind instrument and vocalist. He's won multiple awards, the Native American Music Awards Artist of the Year in 2012, I believe, and then later on Song of the Year, yeah?
Best instrumental recording.
Best instrumental recording. Maybe better. So we want to welcome Ryan LITTLEEAGLE to our stage tonight. And he will be blessing our ears with a mix of some tributary music to friends or inspirations he had that were local artists either in Texas and or up here in Georgia. As well as he's got some originals, and he'll also be playing some wind instruments. So this will be a treat tonight, something a little bit different. And we want to welcome his unique talents to the stage. If you haven't been up here to LITTLEEAGLE, Georgia before, we encourage you to come up. And we are live. To us, since this whole pandemic has hit, the show must go on. And so tonight, bringing us to the show again is Ryan LITTLEEAGLE. We'll come up a little bit and talk through some of this. You're going to hear some stories from him, some originals. I'll come up and ask some questions. He's got a single coming out in the near future, or semi-near future. And we're just grateful for him to be on stage tonight. So, from Texas to Georgia to your living room, live from Canopy and the Roots stage, Ryan LITTLEEAGLE.
Hey folks, how y'all doing today? Well, it's my pleasure to be here at Canopy and the Roots. I want to thank them for allowing me to come out and share some music with y'all. I feel like normally when I do these things, I tend to play a lot of modern music and classic music, going with big names like Johnny Cash, George Strait, and all that. But I want to do something different with this one and wanted to dial it back to some lesser known people and lesser known songs. I think the way I want to start this one is going with, well, what we should value in life. We're going through a hard time these days, and of course, everybody knows we like to be doing more than we are, but it's the little things that count. This song was originally in a cartoon back in the 90s. It was from a show called Hey Arnold. It was sang by Randy Travis. It's a lesser known hit of his. It's called The Simple Things. I like it, and I hope y'all do this one. You can argue me, I'll play it around. You can send me all the riches of the world. You can tell me where the palace is. I give all in a big old stack of simple things. I've got the simple things. I've got the rings. That's why I see chicken wings. Fresh by your rings. You can line me up, my little things. You don't add up to little things. Got a hand-to-hand, grabbing that price. It's Christmas, I'll stay right here and keep circling. I've got the summer breeze, got 6 got to sleep in the bed. It's 93 degrees. So forget the before not having more rest. Next Christmas, I'll stay right here and keep circling. Next Christmas, I'll stay right here and keep circling. Is that a little Randy Travis one? Feels weird doing this set the way I am, because normally I'm throwing out all these fun, cool, mainstream songs I grew up with, but I like being able to take it back and even more now. Going through all this food made me value work. I find myself in music. So I'm going to play y'all an original. This is one I wrote back when I was in college, and fun story behind it too. So I was on the radio club with a friend of mine, his name is Jordan Hood. And we were sitting there, we wanted to start a band, we were going to be State of Law. And he wanted to write a song that just came out of a bad breakup. me, I was probably between some kind of relationship. I don't remember. But we were sitting there, we were writing a song, we were tossing lines back and forth, and originally we wrote it as a punk song. Me, I didn't know how to play guitar at the time, so I was just gonna play some cajon, maybe learn some drums. Sure enough, a few years later, I started learning how to play and sing myself, and kind of country voice, so I thought, how about taking the song and doing something different with it? So I wrote this as a country song now. It's kind of funny. You hear the lyrics, it's traumatizing how sad it is. The rhythm is so upbeat. I call it a happy breakup song. You hate my guts and you hate me. All running from seven offers days and you're fucking down. Don't know why. Angel, I scared the guy. God hold me. Shot up leave my pain way down, but all the memories on the story. Live all your life. Deep inside, yeah, what you please go away. Get me out of this little from stuff. Want me out of change. Run away, Lord, I'll run away. If you people like you come with me. On the skin, very moment, you come in on the other road. The road is long. Here are some forgetting presents. All me down. Give me out of this old hell, let me see. From the stuff, want me, I'll trade. Not this away. Run away, Lord, I'll run away. If the door is hello, help me see from the sweat. Wanna be out of place. My place, run away, Lord, I'll run away. Get the door here today. Run away, Lord, I'll run away. Get the door here today. Run away, Lord, I'll run away. Run away. Thank you. That was one of my originals back in my days of college. Going back to the theme of my set tonight, all these more random songs you may not have heard in different areas. So this next song, the first time I heard it was on a TV series known as Heartland. If you have not seen Heartland, I highly recommend it. Especially if you're into horses, and native stuff, and rodeo, and horse jumping, and all that fun stuff. It's a good, wholesome family show. I was watching it with my mom, and always kind of loved this song. Yeah, well, it's pretty cool, and I really want to share this one. I'm starting to do it as a duo now with a friend of mine. Her name is Nicole. Got a group called Mountain State of Mind we're putting together. But this is something I want to play for y'all. It's called The Bridge. Things I've been meaning to tell you. There's things that I just gotta say. So let's go for something quiet to talk. Hey, you'll see it my way. Fell for a while with a trip. Just stay and to go. Whatever. Blew us together, stronger than we walk me over this bridge, so deep, so wide. Walk me over this bridge, my darling, we'll get to the other side. Times that I've known you inside, outside. Times that I don't know you at all. No matter we go through, I'll still be loving you. Even though you don't hear me call. The one we have worth having. What's the things we're on? So let's go for a walk somewhere. Let's talk, see what life's like. So walk me over this bridge, so deep, so wide. Walk me over this bridge, my darling, we'll get to the other side. Walk me over this bridge. Oh, so deep, so wide. Walk me over this bridge, my darling. Please be my praise high. Walk me over this bridge. Oh, so deep, so wide. Walk me over this bridge, my darling. To get to the other side.
Hey, Ryan,
Sir.
that's one of the most fascinating things about you is just your background and how you turn from your heritage into your music.
For sure.
So with the wind instruments and your mix of Texas into Georgia, so basically the South, right?
Yeah.
Just give our audience this whole listening room experience so we can engage the artist. The artist can connect with us in a way that their music may not have done before, or in the way they desire to connect with people. So it's not just background music, it's actually the reason for the gathering.
For sure. For
So
sure.
what about your background? How is the wind working? And tell us some story about these awards you got from the Native American music.
So my story started a while back. That was back in 2007, 2009. I moved out to Georgia from San Antonio. My dad worked at a company known as Oakler Gaming Technologies. Later would get bought up by Scientific Games, which is stationed down in Alpharetta. And when my dad got the call, got offered the job to move out here, he did. I was looking for something new, and I went with him. And when I was here in Georgia, weirdly enough, it was here in Dahlonega, I met a man named Johnny Chat. Johnny told my dad one time, you know, we brothers got to stick together. We didn't know what he meant at the time until really getting into the indigenous community. He was the first person I ever saw play a flute. I always thought it was cool. So I was back in San Antonio, and I went to a powwow in a town known as Bandera, otherwise the cowboy capital of the world. But I bought my first flute from a man named Will Harjo, and started playing to it, and I guess you could say I took to it like a duck takes to water. And from there, I started kind of composing my own music, getting pushed by good friends of mine, and getting opportunities to play here and there. Like my adopted grandfather allowed me to play at the Cherry Blossom Festival down over at Conyers, the horse park, and little stuff like that gave me the ability to start playing. And a friend of mine, local here to Dahlonega, his name was Barry Bailey, he looked at me and he's like, "Do you want to make a record?" I'm like, "Sure." So we did the most bootleg record you could possibly think of. He had this old machine he bought from Radio Shack, and we sat in his living room and we started recording. He played some guitar for me, and I sat there and played the flute. Didn't really know what I was doing at the time until much later on, and we had the first album come out, Straight from the Heart. And I was bootlegging that, I was making it, literally from scratch. I was burning the disc when I was printing the art. We were cutting it up and putting it in the jewel cases. Sure enough, goes by, and I meet a guy, his name is J.J. Kent. J.J. Kent will become my uncle, and he introduced me to Donald Blackfox of Spearwood Records, a native distribution company. And they submitted my album to the Native American Music Awards for. If you're tuning in, you don't know what those are. Those are basically the native version of Grammys. A little backstory behind that. The Grammy said all that native music is flute and drum, chanting. He said, no, we do more than that. We sing, we play country music, we rap, we do traditional stuff, we play blues, pop. Heck, we had people like my friend Charlie Lowry, who was on, I believe it was the 3rd season of American Idol, one of the finalists going in for the top 24. Of course, we had Elvis, Johnny Cash. So we wanted our own thing, so Miss Ellen Bello and her family ended up conducting and making the Native American Music Awards. There have been a lot of great artists that have been nominated, so many different people, and I got lucky. I was up for debut artist of the year my first time out, blues of the year, and I ended up winning, and ended up doing another CD, and we started off as a project wanting to mix Latin music with flute. Didn't really know much from apple butter, so the project became something different. That project was The Long Journey Home. It's the first time I ever tried producing and recording and mixing. It wasn't the best, but it became one of my more personal albums. It was just more straight flute. There was a cool song on there that I will play later. It was one I wrote for my mom. Well, that's how I got started in Native music. That's how I got started playing the Native flute. Fast forward, college, I do like what everybody else does. I'd get in relationships, fall for girls, and actually you can sit up for the next song I'll sing, but I fall for a girl, didn't work out, broken heart later, and wanted to do something different, put down the flute, and had a friend here in Dahlonega, gave me a chance to sing. From singing, he wanted to bow out, I wanted to learn more. I started playing guitar, and now I'm singing and writing and playing flute and combining it all together.
Well, that's awesome, man. That's why we have you here in our listening room, just to provide that personal insight to music, background, history, terroir is what they call that out west in the vineyard country. So, again, we want to thank Ryan Little Eagle for being on the stage live at Canopy the Roots, Dahlonega, Georgia this evening. We are all about the show must go on, and Ryan's helping us do that tonight. Please donate to the artist. You can do that through Venmo at Canopy and the Roots or at Ryan Little Eagle on Venmo, correct?
Yes.
All right, please support the artist, please support the arts as we figure out the craziness of coming back together again. We will have Ryan Little Eagle back on our stage with a live audience. But in the meantime, please show your support virtually. Virtual high five on Venmo, Ryan Little Eagle, or Canopy and the Roots. Thank you. Ryan, keep going.
We do. Before I sing this next song, I do also want to point out, as far as with my tips too, I'm working with a friend of mine. Her name is Sarah Ortegon, and I probably said that wrong, and Sarah's going to be mad at me for it. We're also raising money with Native Women's Wilderness to help donate money to the Navajo Nation during this pandemic, bringing supplies. So if you can, check out Native Women's Wilderness for more details. Again, portions of my tips I will be giving towards them as well. So yeah, feel free to share that and pass that on. But as I was saying with my story of my music journey, I fell for a girl and didn't turn out so well.
Hey Ryan, question from the audience.
What's up?
You're giving a donation of your tips to who?
To Native Women's Wilderness. It's going to help the Navajo Nation, to help members of the tribe get access to materials, for instance, food or hygienic items. So that's something that they're working with. Check it out with nativewomenswilderness.org. They will have much more information on there than I can provide. They're also on Instagram and Facebook as well. But as I said, I fell for a woman and it didn't go too well. Called the biggest mistake of my life. No, I'm just kidding. But it inspired this song. It's called Never Going Back. There's a Georgia girl in the back of my mind. She'll probably haunt me till the day I die. A broken heart, her memory. It's all that's left of her and me. seems to end. Gone are the days of my best friend. Alone in the world, that's all I know. Guess that's just how the story goes. Well, this Texas boy don't need her now. No longer lost, I'm finally found. Strong and steady like a northern wind. Never going back again. Love songs ain't playing no more. Now that the band's off on tour, a late night call without a phone. These days, there's no one home. This Texas boy don't need her now. No longer lost, I'm finally found. Strong and steady like a northern wind. Never going back again. Well, this Texas boy don't need her now. No longer lost, I'm finally found. Strong, steady like a northern wind. Never going back again. These faded dreams are now laid to rest. Guess it's for the best. It's an original of mine. You. I'm gonna do another one. This is a Delania song. Remember me telling my story. A man named Barry Bailey helped me out. He was a singer-songwriter from here in Delania. Fortunately, he passed not too long ago. This was one of his songs. Well, we crossed Bear Creek this morning, headed up to Mexico, going to a higher state of mind. Wrestled with our baggage, but we had to let it go. As the narrow canvas to the light, we're headed to a higher state of mind. A river of life runs free all the time. Lessons of past, all places we we don't dwell on anymore. We're headed to a higher state of mind. We're headed to a higher state of mind. To a higher state of mind. Remember our life runs freely all the time. The lessons of the past are places we don't dwell on anymore. We're headed to a higher state of mind. Headed to a higher state of mind. The sun wakes up in the morning with a brand new set of eyes, and spirit of gratitude takes home. Another face, another friend, another story told. Set her eyes on the open road, and to a higher state of mind. The river of life runs freely all the time. Grass is always green on the other side. Lessons of the past are places we don't dwell on anymore. We're headed to a higher state of mind. We're headed to a higher state of mind. We're headed to a higher state of mind. A little bit of Barry Bailey right there. Yeah, I like showing off different songwriters. Guess I wouldn't be made if I didn't do this one. So a little bit of background is kind of cool. This town that we're staying in right here is that we're playing. It's called the Lonaga. That's how we say it. Except the real way you say it is the Lonaga. Or the Lonaga. It's a Cherokee word meaning yellow rock. Later on as a site of the first American gold rush. I got a lot of friends that are up on the reservation up in Cherokee, North Carolina, which is really a boundary, but still a place that we have Native people. And I can tell you from experience, there are plenty of Native people still here and around this country. So as I was saying earlier, partnering with Native Women's Wilderness, please check that out, donate. We would love to raise money for the Navajo Nation, help them out. But this was a song written by my uncle, J.J. Kent, and I believe it was on an album that actually got him nominated for Artist of the Year. I know he won Flutist of the Year, I think the year before this album. And this album was one that he dedicated and wrote for his wife. It's called Tate Toko In, or Four Winds Woman. This is called For the Children, or What Will This World Be? Was a time when we were many, our hearts all beat as one. We were brothers to the eagle, lived with our relations, a circle great smoke. A sacred tree stood at the center. And I will ask you, on the skyway, be as strong as it was then? What will this world be for our children? Let's make our second circle past. Voices of our own ones now crying in the wind. Pray that they would be allowed to rest. May they find the peace and comfort for which they so deserve. They have given to all of us their very best. Lord, I will ask you to talk us that way. Our nation be as strong as it was then. What will this world be for our children? Let's make our second circle past. I will ask you to talk us that way. Our nation be as strong as it was then. What will this world be for our children? Let us make our second circle past. Let us make our second circle once again. J.J. Kent. Since we're talking about Indians, might as well talk about cowboys. As we said earlier, I'm from San Antonio, Texas originally. I'm proud of my hometown. But most people, whenever they meet somebody from Texas, I mean, the other day I walked in with a cowboy hat from Kroger, and I told him, "You're a cowboy, you must be from Texas." So I like honoring some of that rodeo lifestyle. One of my favorite artists, his name is Aaron Watson. Starting to make it a little more mainstream. He's got a couple hits that went pretty big. He's a big name in Texas music. This was a song that he wrote for a young man named Lane Frost. You don't know who Lane Frost was. Lane Frost was world champion bull rider who fortunately had his last ride at Shining Frontier Days. He made the 8th, but unfortunately the bull came back and gored him and he lost his life that day. One thing I like about the story though is that his friend Tough Human would go on and ride the National Finals Rodeo in Vegas, the World Championship. Tough not only won, made the 8, but he rode an additional 8 for Lane. So I want to play y'all a song called July in Cheyenne by Aaron Watson. In the rain and the mud in July and Cheyenne. You gotta carry away that breakup. A little part of every heart of every rodeo fan. Out there in the rain and the mud in Cheyenne. Looking back, it doesn't seem so long ago. Just feel that life God rest his soul. Why he died that day is hard to understand. In the rain and the mud in July and Cheyenne. So take your hat to the cowboy every once in a while. And take time to remember that cowboy smile. A little part of every heart of every rodeo fan. Died there in the rain and the mud in July and Cheyenne. Old buckles on the shelf collecting dust. Such memories shine inside of all of us. Some distant heroes, some distant friends. Mom and Dad like to see a little boy. So tip your hat to the cowboy every once in a while. And take the time to remember that cowboy smile. A little part of every heart of every rodeo fan. Died there in the rain and the mud in July and Cheyenne. So tip your hat to the cowboy every once in a while. And take time to remember that cowboy smile. A little part of every heart of every rodeo fan. Down there in the rain and the mud in July and Cheyenne. In the rain and the mud in July and Cheyenne. You gotta carry away that breakup. Wash the blood so they will see him again. Won't be in the rain and the mud in July, Cheyenne.
Awesome, Ryan. Awesome. We got about 3 more songs left in our live stream tonight, but since we're in the listening room, we like to get to know our artists and play here. What is it that keeps you on the stage? What keeps you going? Because a musician's life is not an easy life. Every musician writes deep stories of their experience. So maybe what's your experience to date with music as you work on your next single? Or where are you going? And I know you're going to be here in July or August, gracing this stage again with people in the audience. So outside of coming here, then, where are you going?
You know, to say that like an average musician, I don't spend a life on the road just traveling around like a band of gypsies. beatnik or just a modern day drifter. You know, the reason I'm always on stage, and I try to be on stage and want to be on stage, is because the only place I feel at home. I try a lot of things in my life to figure out. I mean, one time I wanted to be a basketball player, I wanted to be a veterinarian, wanted to make films. Shoot, I've tried many different things and learned many different things. The only place that ever felt constant was being up here and entertaining people. Whether in person or on a live stream like this, the stage is the only place I really feel like I can be myself and who I truly am. So, working on new singles, definitely looking forward to coming back here and all sorts of different places and traveling. But what will keep me going and where I'll be, well, only one person knows that. I'm just along for the ride.
Jeez, that was deep, brother. That was deep. That was deeper than I thought we were going tonight. I like it. I like it. Just a reminder for everybody, we got Ryan LITTLEEAGLE here live at the Roots stage in Dahlonega, Georgia. You can support the artist through Venmo at Canopy of the Roots or at Ryan LITTLEEAGLE. Ryan, you got 3 more songs. Take it away.
Cool. 3 more songs. All right. I think I know how to do this. So we'll do another original for y'all. Cool part about this experience is I've been happy to try to bust out some new stuff that never coming back. It's the first time I've actually played it in front of people. So that was fun. It sounded a lot better than I thought it would. But I wrote this song back when I used to work at a bar in Atlanta. This will be my first single once I can get it recorded. We were in the studio prior to the pandemic and making some headway. So as soon as things die down, we'll go back in and keep working on it, building it up. But this song, as I said, I wrote it when I was working in Atlanta. I want to talk about the best job for a Native American. Kid you not. So I was working at a bar known as PBR. It stands for Pro Bull Rider. Well, I was operating the mechanical bull there. And it's a cowboy themed bar. And I'm right across from the Atlanta Braves. Perfect job. I tell you what, I could have been that Braves mascot, I guess. I didn't know Chief Oklahoma personally. If you have a moment, please toss out a prayer for Mr. Levi Walker or Chief Oklahoma. He's in the hospital right now. We definitely use good healing energy. But when I was working at this bar, I used to see people come in from Kennesaw State all the time. And a lot of frat boys. They'd bring their girlfriends with them. They'd sit there and they would drink a few drinks. And after a while, they'd forget who they came with. I kid you not, I'd see them in the corner maybe an hour later. She's yelling at him, slapping his beer out of his hand. He's like, "What'd I do? What'd I do?" Or he's just like, "Whatever." Just like, really? My way of balancing out that universe was he would get the liquid courage and get on the bull, and she would pay me $5 to throw him. I'm not saying I threw him, but I might have balanced out. But I sat there many a nights and I thought, well, you know, what if it was me? I've been single for a few years by then. Still am. I can play. But I thought about it. What if it was me? So I wrote the song. It's called If It Was Me. Sitting here thinking about when it came to an end. Wondering if I'll ever find love again. Looking all around, watching everybody dance. Wondering if they know just what they have. Someone standing there looking around. Didn't pay her any mind. Was just talking to his friends. How could it be so blind? Clearly not see. She was standing there in front of him, lonely as could be. But if it was me, I just heard her from the start. her heart. If it was me, I'd take a chance and ask her to dance. Find out where we'll take her. Sorry without it. I wondered if she'd come back. I waited for a couple days, but I never saw her face. How could those pretty eyes be so focused on one thing? You didn't see what he had in front of him. If it was me, I'd notice her from the start. If it was me, I'd look into her heart. And if it was me, I'd take a chance and ask her to dance. Find out where we'll take her next. If it was me, I'd never let her wonder. If it was me, I'd show her my whole world. If it was me, I'd show her off to everyone I know. We'll see how far we'll go. Take a chance, ask her to dance. That was my original If It Was Me.
Spoken like a true Texan. That was awesome. Which one's the originals? It's beautiful. Again, support the artist on Venmo at Ryan Little Eagle or at Canopy of the Roots. Thank you, Ryan, for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Canopy of the Roots, for having me.
I'm not kicking you off yet. Keep rocking.
All right. Well, I guess we got 2 more. Before I get into my last one, because I'm not going to lie, the last one's going to be a very personal song, and I'm going to dedicate it to a lot of people out there, because guess what tomorrow is? Yep. Tomorrow's Mother's Day, and I'll get into that song in a second. But I want to have fun. I'll admit, when I was in Texas, living out there for the last year, when I thought about playing music, I was thinking, yeah, George Strait, Randy Travis, let's do stuff like that. Well, my buddy Zach Talbert, Mario Vera, George Talbert, Matt Kolansky, and Mark Setti, and all sorts of other different great Texas songwriters,
introduced me to different Americana artists like Jason Isbell and Tyler Childers, and Adam Hood, and many others. And I thought, it's cool music. I need to start covering some of it. So I covered one, and I did it because also another friend of mine, her name is Megan Foley, and we're starting our state of mind together. She liked this song, little Tyler Childers.
My bubble makes impressions on the side of the line. There were little feathered Indians who tussle through the night. And I know she was religious, I wouldn't have come stone to the house for such a danger. And I stopped to get back home. Looking over Austin, Texas, smoking spirits on. She asked anybody tell me that things are bad. Some damn folks have warned me there have been several people try. Until now there ain't nothing that I ain't got. So hold me close, my baby. Sing your whispering song softly in my ears. I will sing it how love comes true. I can always count on you. With a mother's life, I come across the village just to hold you tonight. Well, my heart is sweat bullets by the struggles in its grip. Like little feathered Indians calling to the clouds to drink. Running through the thicket, I don't care, let's through the cold. The whole tree one more time, always leaves me warm. So hold me close, my dear. Sing your whispering song softly in my ears. I will sing it on, but now no love comes through. I can always count on you. Even when the bullets fly across the village, I won't I park across the village just to hold you.
That was Tyler Childers' Feathered Indians. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in to the live streams. Thank y'all so much for having me here at Canopy the Roots. Definitely look forward to coming back and playing again. It's a great venue, great atmosphere, great listening room. Now, I'm going to do one last song for y'all. This last song was actually one that I had on one of my CDs, Long Journey Home. Cool story behind this song is that one of the man who helped me write it, again, was Barry Bailey, who I sang Higher State of Mind by him earlier. See, not too long ago, my mom had stage 4 liver cirrhosis. She wasn't expected to really make it that long. She had it for several years, and it got pretty dicey a couple times. And I wanted to write a song for her, and Barry helped me put this one together. And tell you what, it was a good time. I actually got to play for her in Nashville. She came out, met me up there. We were at the Mount Juliet Powwow. First time I ever played there. First time she ever really heard me play, and it was the first song she heard. It's one that I've carried forever. And I want to share with y'all, especially tomorrow being Mother's Day. I want to dedicate to the mothers, the grandmothers, the aunties out there, those who give a lot for us. I'll tell you what, I do have a somewhat happy ending with this story behind the song. Because about 2 years ago, my mom was lucky and she actually received a liver transplant. It was truly a gift and a miracle because as quick as it came, she's got a new lease on life, has another chance at it. So this is one that I wrote for her. It's called The Mother's Love. I hope y'all enjoy it. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. Again, my name is Ryan LITTLEEAGLE. Thank y'all so much for having me here. Thank you for tuning in, supporting local and live music. And no native language do we really have a word for goodbye, so we'll say until next time we meet in Lakota, Buckshot, until next time we meet.
What's the word for long distance hug?
I haven't quite figured out what that is.
Ryan, thank you for playing tonight. All you, thank you for joining us live, wherever you are, your living room, your driveway, your boat, your car, wherever it is. It's not here, but it will be soon. Have a wonderful evening. Ryan Little Eagle.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. See y'all later.